Hey everybody, it's Colette Baron-Reid. Welcome to the Universal Energy Forecast for this week, October the 12th. And boy, oh boy, am I ever glad Mercury retrograde is finally over. I always find these retrogrades, at least this one particularly, was really tough because it brought up a lot of my old patterns and the things that I haven't healed yet and things I thought I had healed yet, but real triggers. And so I'm always happy when the trigger happens, I've gone through it, and then I got a chance to kind of reassess it after the fact, which is exactly what the retrogrades are for. And it's about healing us. So the first card of these 4 cards that I chose out of obviously my new deck, Wisdom of the Oracle, and I mentioned last week too that these cards are not so much prophetic, so it's not like I'm predicting that these things are going to be in your life. It's more an invitation to work with this energy, because the Universal Energy Forecast is all about our evolution and what affects us as human beings and what are we required to do in order to evolve into the most powerful co-creative partner that we can with spirit, right? So anyhow, the first card is very powerful for this week because it's why in the protection position. So what does this mean? So it means that we're being invited to look at our motives. Where are we in denial about our motives behind our ambitions and our actions? For example, I remember before when I was in the music business and I was trying to be a successful singer, I was really hooked into being a successful singer for the success part, because my motive was really to help me heal and feel better about myself. If I got that success, I would feel better about myself, right? Now, that was a motive that was hidden for me until I finally realized that, and now I sing because I love it. It's a totally different thing. I'm completely free from the burden of that hidden agenda that I had. So I'm just using me as an example, and that was years ago. And so, for example, maybe you're pursuing a business because you've seen somebody else get really successful at it, like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And so we're asked this week to really take a look at how are we comparing ourselves with others? What is it about the world that we're pursuing, in the material world, in the world of advancement, if you will, in our creative projects and relationships? Like, why do we want that particular guy? Why do we want to prove to ourselves that we can make that one love us, right? If he doesn't want to, for example? These are the kind of things, let's get out of denial this week. And those are tough questions, so we're asked to be vulnerable, okay? So vulnerability is the key walking into this week if you are brave enough to do it. Now, next card, fantastic. We set ourselves free by the first card. Then we get to truth be told. Now, truth be told is all about authenticity. When we tell the truth, when we reveal ourselves to ourselves first, to ourselves and to God, then we are free and transparent to interact in the world around us without any secrets. See, our secrets keep us sick. If we lie to ourselves and we lie to other people, we leak energy, right? We aren't really powerful. We aren't coming from that place of integration. And so this week, know who you are. Don't be afraid. Well, you can be afraid, but have the courage to ask yourself the tough questions about your motives and then be willing to stand in your truth. You probably will have to make some changes as a result of it, right? Now, what I love about this card, mending, is in the protection position. And by the way, my artist, Jenna de la Gratalia, is, as most of you know, she does all the card decks with me. And I'm telling you, this deck, her artwork, we worked so hard together in developing the pictures and the images, etc. This girl is magical, and I just want to make a comment because so many of you have been commenting on the art of the card, so I want to give a shout out to Jenna, my partner in spirit and oracles. So mending are these 2 little girls, and these 2 little girls are, they are kind of mending this banner, which is like the overarching banner that they look up into the skies if they're looking at God and they're sitting on a spool of thread and they're innocent, right? They're innocent. And so the innocence is also about ignorance, because when we don't know better and we don't have a understanding of ourselves well enough, right? We don't know our motives, that we are innocent because we don't know, and then when we learn, we're no longer ignorant. We have the knowledge, right? We have the self-awareness. And so this card in the protection position reminds us Okay, fine, we looked at our motives. We got to tell our truth, but don't dwell on it. Let's not sit in the past and go, that old story, here we go again. Well, I did this and I did that, and geez. Because then we let it stick in our energy field, and that kind of old story that keeps, it makes it messy. It makes it, like we've got one foot in the past all the time. So it's asking us to let go and don't worry about the future. Stay in the moment. Don't allow the story to affect you that was bad in any way. No, that was then. Today we choose a new self. Today we choose new behaviors. Today we choose new and more empowered ways of being in the world and sharing ourselves with others as our service. Now, guess what else? Okay, at the end, I love this card. As you notice, we have these little animals in all our cards, me and Jenna. So we have a little fox who is sleeping on the moon. And it says, it's time for a nap. And what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean that we all go to sleep now, because that's actually part of the problem, is that we have spiritual amnesia and spiritual narcolepsy when we're just going, yay, about life. So that's not what we're saying here. It means that we get to rest. This isn't about relentlessly achieving our goals, relentlessly going after things and things like that. No, we need balance. We need to also relax. Time for a nap also reminds us about meditation, right? So it's about allowing ourselves to be still, be mindful of our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Be mindful of those motives. Be loving and generous to ourselves. Remember, our relationships go like this: relationship to God or to spirit, relationship to self, family, other people, right? If you don't have a right relationship to God and to yourself, you're no good to anybody. So meditation and mindfulness practice, which I do, I meditate 90 minutes a day. I'm not saying you have to do that, but having a genuine practice where you are imagining yourself as well as the new you, as the you that you want to present to the world, not the one that you get tied into about like, oh, I used to do this. Oh, who cares, right? Be somebody you're proud of. Be somebody that you know that when you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm okay with me, I'm enough. That's the other one. When we meditate, we know we're enough. Why? Because we're plugged into spirit, and spirit is always enough. All right, guys, thank you for listening to this big, long teaching mechanism that I do every week, and I'm so grateful to everybody who tunes in. And don't forget, this weekend coming up at the Omega Institute, if it's a last-minute thing, no problem. There's room for you. Robert Ohado and I are going to be doing our Intuition 3.0 boot camp. And we're really going to be processing this retrograde phase, and we're also going to be doing some really great new, and a lot of it is deep trance meditation and envision processes and working with oracles, and it's going to be a great weekend at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York. Take care. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please share it with your friends and leave a comment. I do read them and answer them.
Traveling down the road, I didn't know that I was lost. I had tried too many shortcuts, and the cost left my heart broken. So I had it closed for